Guten Morgen, guten Tag. My name is Minaya, and welcome back to my channel. I love being able to say that. Before we start, I just want to say, preface, my next video will be on the third and fourth book of the Pretty Liar series, Perfect and Unbelievable. Two words that have been used to describe me. I am almost done with the third one, Perfect. Uh, it's pretty good. It's very good. My favorite part is that they don't have 50 new characters that I have to introduce. I think that's what made the first video so long, is because there's so many things to introduce, but we have so much of the outline now, like they go to a private school, they're rich, the POVs, that it's gonna be a shorter video, so you guys don't have to sit through an hour and 30. I sent the link of that video to a friend of mine, and she was like, girl, this is not a feature movie. Why is it an hour and 30? And I was like, don't worry about that. Which is so funny because she's one of the friends that were like, you should start a podcast. And I was like, how long did you think a podcast episode would be? Pretend it's a podcast episode. You don't have to watch it. Listen. Who doesn't want my voice in their head? Also, as I am filming this, I can see my face and I see my pimples taking up much more space than I would like for it to. Please, if you like me, ignore it. Just, even if you don't like me, ignore it. Anyways, so as you can tell by the title of this video, we will be reading a little bit of those booktok slideshows. To preface, please don't lose respect for me, but I used to be on booktok a lot, but that was back when booktok was honestly normal. I remember when I was on booktok, so this was 2021, 2022, because I was still in high school, last year of high school, and I remember the books that used to be there. I swear this is still what I associate with booktok, even though I know it's changed. It used to be Cruel Prince, the Folk of Air series, which I love. That used to get recommended, or We Were Liars was a big one. Inheritance Games. Those were kind of the books that were getting recommended. I mean, there was a few like Colleen Hoover and Penelope Douglas there. I think I remember Verity was the first Colleen Hoover book I ever heard of. I actually did read that one. I thought it was pretty good for what it was saying. And I feel listen, Colleen Hoover books as a romance, awful, just no. But if you read those romance books as psychological thrillers, actually pretty good, because it was very disturbing. You're like, honestly, yeah, I don't think, I've read psychological thrillers, that's one of my favorite genres, and yet her books blew them all out the water. They were the scariest things I've ever read. And November 9, if you think of that book as a psychological thriller, it's actually really good. You're as a psychological thriller. Penelope Douglas. Oh, the ones that I knew when I was on booktok were Birthday Girl and Credence. I actually recently watched two people tell me what Credence was about on YouTube. I knew it was bad. I don't know how bad. I think one of his biggest crimes is that it's also boring. It's awful, but it's also boring, and I think that's a crime on itself. I have actually read two Penelope Douglas books. One of them was the third most popular book that was getting recommended on booktok at the time, Bully. The only thing being bullied was my eyesight, because I had to read that. I love her saying I had to read that like anyone was asking me to. I was just curious. Anyways, awful. I did not like that book. I kind of lost respect for anyone that was like, this book is so good. I lost respect. I've lost my respect. What? It was really bad. I actually, not to make this long, but that book kind of reminded me of a fan fiction I had read on Wattpad as a joke. I was not serious. It was a joke, but kind of reminded me. I'm pretty sure the book itself was also a joke. I don't think it was serious, and if it was, I'm a little scared. But it kind of reminded me of that, except it was serious and not a joke. And that was scary. And that's all I'm going to say. But that's also to say that I am willing to read bad books and describe them, but not Credence. That thing is 500 pages long. That's like the end of the Harry Potter series long. That's too long. That's what she said. No, but seriously, that's too long. You should not have a bad book be 500 pages. If it's a bad book, cap it at 2 to 300 and call it a day. Don't waste people's lives like that. You've already wasted their money and time. Anyways, let's get into the video. I did have to create a new TikTok account for this because I don't want my own For You page getting muddled up like this. Though I think 2 of them I actually sent from my own account to this account because it was really hard to find these, which I was shocked because I'm like, sometimes it's really hard to escape them. So I'm like, ugh, why are you hiding? I think actually the hardest part wasn't finding them. It was finding ones that were appropriate for a video because a lot of them are just straight up corn. Mm. And it's like, why are we allowing this on TikTok? Children are on here. No, like seriously, some of them are really, like it's already bad, but it's like there's not even like a plot. It's just straight up smut. And I'm like, I don't think that's allowed. It shouldn't be. Why are we getting so descriptive? Anyone could stumble onto these. You search up booktok and it's just full on. And it's like, that should not be allowed. What if a child is actually looking for literature recommendations? Look what you've done. It was so hard to find ones that were somewhat appropriate. Again, straight up smut. It really is. Also, this whole thing about spicy. Enough. 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 Because I just like to say, I'm not like a prude. I'm not gonna be like, oh my god, spicy. I don't like to read it, but that's more like I'll just skip over it. Like, I think you can have spice integrated into the plot line correctly. I think you can do that. I think that's achievable. Like Emily Henry books. I like Emily Henry books. I mean, I'll skip the spice part, but I think she integrates it nicely. But I think a lot of these books on BookTok, it's kind of like if you wanted to buy a spicy dish in a restaurant, except they bring you the plate and it's just all spice, no food, and you're like, where's the food? And they're like, no, you eat those chili pepper flakes. That's what you get. And that's what some of these feel like. That like there's just no build up, there's no plot, there's nothing. It's just straight up. And it's like, I don't what? And it's also bad writing too. So what are you really selling? Anyways, I love how many times I see it. Anyways, let's get into it. And then I have one more thought. I'm serious now. I'm serious. Let's read. She's accidentally assigned to the deadliest inmate in the prison. Him bribing a guard to let him out of his cell so he can cuddle her through a storm. See, this is what I'm. Also, by the way, it's called Alpha Inmate. This whole use of like alpha in everything where it's not appropriate is insane. Because why does he have to be an alpha? Why? He can't be a beta. Like, no one was questioning if he was an alpha or not. Why would the word alpha need to be in there? Why? Why? It could have been like deadly inmate. It just had to be like alpha inmate. Why? Why? Also, I love the thing of she's accidentally assigned. How does that really accidentally happen? Like a pen pal system? I don't understand. Assigned to do what? Like be a psychologist, roommate situation perhaps, but no, he's in jail, so probably not. Cause yeah. So is he like? I'm trying to see it. Hold on. See, it's not saying if she's like a psychologist or what, but then it's like if you were a psychologist, how would you be accidentally assigned? I feel like all the crime movies I've watched, they're pretty clear that there's like different no, I don't get it. How are you accidentally assigned? So is it like a pen pal thing? Also, what makes him the deadliest? But also, something crazy is him bribing a guard to let him out of his cell so he can cuddle her through a storm. I get people can be afraid of like storms and whatnot, but could you imagine? You're like scared. You're like in a panic. Like, oh my god, there's a storm, and you're like, I live alone. Who's touching me right now? Um. Oh my god, it's the deadliest inmate at the place that I work at. Oh my goodness, like that would scare me more. That would absolutely scare me more. Like honestly, I'm going out in the storm right now. I'd rather let the lightning take me than a man that I don't know who's also an inmate and the deadliest one be in my house and in my bed. I think that would concern me more, no? And it's also like, how do you know where I live? Why do you know where I live? I mean, they said he bribed the guard to let him out of his cell, right? But did he also bribe the guard to, give him her address? Why does he know where she lives? Also, how easily accessible is this house? Is this like a first floor situation, one floor, and it's like easily available to get in? Is it like an apartment complex? I mean, I just feel like there's so many steps that he's skipping to get into her house that are just not explained. Also, how close is this house to the prison cell that because there's no way he has a car, right? How would he get a car? So how was he able to just walk on over to her house? I love how much I'm questioning. It's two sides, and I'm like, let's work out the logistics. Because how'd you get at her house? Forget forget the whole situation. Actually, how did you get to her house? How do you know where she lives? Let's answer these very important questions. I feel like that's something that's always concerned me in like shows and books where somebody will just show up at somebody else's house and it's like, how do you know where they live? Like maybe I'm just weird because even some of my friends don't know where I live, and that's not because like I'm like so secretive about it. It's just why would you need to know where I live? We don't hang out at my house, so there's no reason for you to know where I live. When she tells her stalker she lost her entire family in a car crash and is all alone, he vows to get her pregnant. No, no, let me read that again. She tells her stalker she lost her entire family in a car crash and is all alone. He vows to get her pregnant. Um, that's somehow more scary than the other one. He vows to get her pregnant. Could you imagine? You're like, yeah, no, it's been really tough. It's it's been like a year and I'm not really over it, 'cause it's my entire family, like my parents, my siblings, my grandma, a few aunts, second cousins. It's been really rough and I'm struggling with it. And this man's like, I'm gonna get you pregnant. Is that not a threat? Doesn't that sound like a threat? Like I don't know if any context there can be for it to not be a threat. Is I'm gonna get you pregnant not a threat in any context? Like, I'm gonna get you pregnant. Oh, also, how would that help? I feel like that would make the situation much worse because, like, if she were pregnant and she was like, yeah, sure, let's have a child. If she was pregnant, I feel like she'd be thinking about the dead family more. She'd be like, my child is never gonna meet my family because they're dead. Wouldn't that make the situation worse? I'm gonna get you pregnant. Like, oh, I thought this was a therapy session. No, no, thank you. I'm good. I'm okay. Ah, forgot about my death family already. No, 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 no. No need for that. No, no, thank you. No, thank you. I'm good. No. Also, actually, let's go back to something I noticed. She tells her stalker. So does she not know he's her stalker? And let's say she doesn't know. How do they know each other? Why is he stalking her? What's he trying to get? What? Also, I just I hate stalker romances. I do. I do. When I'm watching you, I'm not really rooting for him. You know what I mean? Like, I don't like stalker romances. I hate them. I just it's weird. It's weird. I think the only time I can approve of stalker romances if they were like stalking each other, because I feel like then that would be like even ground. Like you're stalking her, she's stalking you back. You're both aware of it. I feel like then I'd be okay with it because I'd be like, okay, it's even. They both like each other and they're yeah, okay, okay. Because then it's like even, you know what I mean? It's evened out, it's balanced somewhere in the universe. But if one person is stalking the other, I'm not really into that. I'm like, oh, oh. Also, all these stalker romances and the stalker is not a paparazzi. Come on, the stalker should be a paparazzi. I just feel like that would work. Like, come on. Think. Let's get this plot lines going. This one I think is very me. When she's getting kidnapped, but she's also a yapper. It's a book page. Do you know what Malishka means? I ask him, but he shoots me a vicious glare through the rear view mirror. I continue anyway. Right, sorry. You're not Russian, of course. You have no idea what it means. You see, this man I'm seeing keeps calling me that, and it's triggered my curiosity and shut up. Anyways, I googled I googled it last night, and apparently it means baby girl. I I love how many of these have been like how many tropes I hate. I hate Russian love interest in books. I hate them. I hate them. I've never encountered it. I've never read a book where the love interest is Russian. I've only seen these on like booktok stuff. I hate that because it's always the love interest who's older than the MC, and they're always using Russian pet names, and it's disgusting. I actually do know Russian to a certain extent, and that's actually what makes me mad about this whole thing. Uh, for example, Malishka, I don't think that's a word. My Russian's not very good. I'm out of practice, but I'm pretty sure that's not a word. What what I do know is маленькая, маленькая девочка, maybe. Um, Definitely not baby girl. I'm pretty sure that's baby girl. I guess would be маленькая девочка, right? I guess. Um. Also, I'm looking at the comment because I said the whole thing about them being older. The brightness is so low. Um, he's 58. The guy that keeps calling her a baby girl, he's 58 and she's 20 something. Ooh, and apparently it's supposed to be like age gap. That's not age gap. That's weird. No, 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 no. I don't mind. Actually, I'm not gonna lie. I don't like age gaps. I don't like age gaps if one of the people is under 25 and one of them is way over like 30 something. That's just a psych major in me. I just feel like the frontal lobe development really affects how I feel about the situation. Mm-mm, mm-mm. Also, what kind of a lame, amateurish kidnapper is this? She's just in the back seat, no duct tape, nothing. Is she even bound? Can she just leave the damn car? Like, what kind of piss poor job are you doing here? If you're gonna kidnap someone, kidnap them correctly. Duct tape their mouth, bound them, put them in the trunk. Why is she just in the backseat like this an Uber? What? Like, if I didn't know any better, I would just think she was in an Uber and she was just pissing off the driver. Like, why is she just chilling in the backseat? No duct tape, nothing. What? Um, and he's like, shut up. No, no, like threatening her. What is this, a sibling relationship? Like, not even like a, hey, I'm gonna you if you don't shut up. No, it's just shut up. Shut up. You are not very good at this job that you're trying to do. If you're gonna kidnap someone, kidnap them right. Uh, I don't know why I'm saying it like that. Like kidnap someone. I just get mad because that's like, why are you doing such a ridiculously bad job? You are so bad at it's embarrassing. Let her out the car at this point. You're embarrassing yourself. She's not even like bound or gagged or in the trunk. She's just chilling in the back seat. She might as well pay you fair at this point. I love how mad I'm getting about this. I'm like, you're bad at your job. Be better. Be better. Be better. I hate the ones that are just videos. Okay. Woo. When she can't figure out why her house is suddenly full of expensive cheese, her crush snuck it in because he was worried she wasn't eating enough. No, like, listen, that's like sweet and all. I love cheese. I thank God every day that I'm not lactose intolerant because I love cheese. I love cheese. Though I have a best friend that's lactose intolerant, and that has not stopped her from eating dairy, and I respect the hell out of her for that. But like, I've grown up eating like cheese, like good cheese, you know? When I was 8 years old and my mom went to study abroad in Europe, she like brought back cheese, and I remember thinking like, why does it smell bad? And she was like, no, this is a good cheese. And I was like, yeah, but why is it blue and why does it smell bad? And that's when I figured out like expensive cheese tastes good and all, but like the odor, ooh. So I'm imagining she wakes up, she's in this small ass studio apartment, and she's like, oh my god, my house smells freaking awful. Like, do we have black mold? And she's like, going to the kitchen, it's just full of cheese. And she's like, it's nice. I'm appreciative. I'm not. Listen, I'm appreciative. Like, this is really nice. Like, someone just gave me a bunch of cheese. Like, I'm grateful. But, like, cheese is dairy, and I kind of wish they had put it into the fridge because I've kind of been asleep for 12 hours. I was oversleeping, and now my house smells awful, and this is a studio. And I don't have a closet. I have one of those clothing racks, and now my clothes smell like moldy cheese. Mm-hmm. I also have no bread in my house. All I have is cheese, and they also just, yeah. My house smells like cheese. It's nice. I am lactose intolerant, so this is not gonna end well for me, but I really wish they had left lactate. Like that's the scenario I'm thinking of. And also I kind of love that he snuck it in because he was worried she wasn't eating enough. And it's dot dot dot. Eating enough cheese? Like, could you imagine being like, "Oh my god, I'm like really like scared like my friend's not eating enough," and you just give them cheese? What I mean, dairy is definitely part of like the plate, the nutrition plate or whatever, but there are other foods on there. They like protein and stuff. You can't just be like, oh my god, you're not eating enough. I'm gonna buy you like 50 pounds of cheese. You're gonna be okay. Girl who's gonna be okay. There are more food stuff. Like, you can't just be like, oh my god, you're not eating enough. Cheese. No, like, it's sweet and all. Like, I know I said I don't like stalker stuff and I don't want people to come into my house. But like listen, I would if you're breaking into my house because you're worried I'm not eating enough and you're just gonna get me a bunch of expensive cheese, listen, I'm down. Listen. Add some expensive chocolate and we're talking. But like just cheese? What if her fridge was empty? Like there's nothing there. She has to do grocery shopping and she's like, well, I got the dairy section. Wish they had left some bread or something. I also really just don't have anything in my house. Like no coffee. Like I really need to do some grocery shopping. Work's been busy. I'm hungry, but like I feel like this cheese would go good with bread or something. Just anything that huh. Like I feel like now they're gonna be starved more. Like they're not gonna wait like just cheese? I don't like that. Now that I'm thinking through this, like you know whose dream this would be? Um oh god, I forgot his name. Adrian's thing from Miraculous Ladybug. He would love this. This would be his ideal situation. But like human beings do need more than cheese and dairy to, survive. So maybe if you think she's not eating enough, maybe buy her more food. Buy her groceries. More groceries. To make her fake marriage a little better, she starts cooking for her husband every night. But he never eats with her, so she stops. So he starts cooking for her until she eats with him. Okay, this kind of just sounds like she was a really bad cook and he was like, "Stop cooking for us. I'm dead ass. You have to stop. You can't cook. You like this potato is not boiled. It's raw potato. You've cut a raw potato and you put it on my plate. And this meat is definitely not cooked. I don't think it's even seen the stove. It's very much red and pink. You can't cook. You have to. I'm not going to eat with you if you don't cook the food. You can't serve raw food. What? I don't know how that's being nutritious. No, it's raw. It's raw. How, I'll just cook. You know what? I'll cook. We can still talk. I'll just cook. You can't cook. Enough for the raw food. Enough, enough, and we're done. No. I feel like that's just what it sounds like. It just sounds like she can't cook, and he's just like, stop cooking. Enough. I'm a chef. I'm a chef. This is really just making me sad because it's raw potatoes and why is there just an onion? I mean, like it doesn't need to be cooked because it is an onion, but I just feel like it's it's all raw. Also, is there like a glass of milk next to this? It's an awful setup. Stop cooking, please. Like that's what it's giving. Also, uh, fake marriage. Something like listen, I'm not a hater of the fake, dating trope. I'm not. I'm a big Told the Boys I Loved Before fan. Like that movie came out and changed the trajectory of my life. I love that movie. But I do draw the line of fake marriage. I don't know how fake a marriage can be. Like you're still signing a legal document. So technically legally you are married to one another. It's only fake relationship. Like a relationship wise because you don't have those feelings for each other yet. You're practically strangers. But it is a real marriage. I mean, you can just say fake relationship because it is a real marriage. Let's not forget that you are legally married. You can't just be like, oh well, yeah. No, it is a real marriage. It's a fake relationship. Real marriage. Panics when she finds out she's been dating a serial killer. He's been asking his victims for dating advice. Um no, cuz could you imagine just being like, please, please, I have a family. Please, I have loved ones. I have people that love me. Please, please. And he's just standing there like, should I text her? Oh my god, should I text her? Do you think it would be like too much if I like Can you please stop crying about your family and the people that love you? You're ruining the vibe, please. Anyways, so do you think I should text her? Oh my god. Okay, because I've been thinking okay, because like we made eye contact, right? And that's like, I think she likes me, but I don't know. Would it be too much if I like asked her to go to see like new movies with me. Can you please stop crying about missing your family, not wanting to? That's not gonna like make me stop. Can you shut up about your loved ones? I'm asking for advice here, and you're being rude right now. You're being rude. Don't be freaking selfish right now. I'm asking you for dating. Stop being selfish. Stop it. Stop. Stop crying. Stop. Enough with your loved ones. I'm not listening to this. Okay? You're pissing me off. So do I text her or not? Do I ask her to go to the movies with me or not? You're pissing me off with your. Can you clean up the snot on your face right now? Please be serious. Be serious. Thank you. So do I like text her? I was thinking like, should I make like a Spotify playlist for us? Like these are songs that remind me of you. Would that be cute? Yeah, you think? I think so too. Okay, let's do what I started. I am gonna kill you now, so I mean, the world's not gonna miss out. You give awful advice. You are such a selfish person. Like, you will not stop crying about your loved ones. Shut up. When someone asks you for advice, like, I'm gonna tell you something to improve on, even though you only have like 5 seconds left of your life. When someone asks you for advice, maybe stop making it about you. When someone's asking you for advice, maybe stop talking about how you're scared, you don't want to die, you miss your loved ones. No one cares, okay? Like, don't be selfish. This is exactly why this is happening right now, because you're being selfish. You're a rude, inconsiderate person. Yeah, yeah. And that's why I'm gonna get rid of you. We need less inconsiderate people, okay? Yeah, stop. Yeah, yeah. So let's get into it. Yeah. Um, that's all I can read for today because those were all awful. And I just remember those are not just slideshows, but those are real books available for purchase. Don't purchase them. If those two slides were awful, I can't imagine the rest of the books are that much better. And I would feel bad saying that. I don't like to yuck someone's yum or whatever. But I, like on a real sense, I do feel like we have gone to a deep end about what dark romance is. Like, I think dark romance should be something like that's darker in content, but not like criminal or illegal. You know what I mean? Like, like what I said about like if they're stalkers, but they're stalking each other. So it's like, but they're not hurting people. They're just, you know, they're just on each other's Instagram all day or whatever. That's something I'd approve of, but like not whatever, like, oh, he breaks into her house. Why do you know where I live? Why do you know where I live? How did you get into my house? Why are you in my house? How did you get here? Why do you know where I live? Like that's not romantic to me. I'm gonna call someone. The police. I'm calling. Stop. No. Like I think if someone even if I like had a crush on them, they came into my house, I think I'm calling the cops. That's not like, oh my god, this is so romantic. Like you're making no, I'm calling the cops. What are you doing in my house? How do you know where I live? How did you get in this building, man? You need like two sets of keys to even get into the building. How did you get into this building? How did you get into my house? We're on the 5th floor. How did you get here? Like, I feel like I would not be like, oh my god, it's so cute, it's so romantic, I'm in love with you. I would be scared, crapping my pants, just being like, oh my god, what the hell? I need to move. I need to call someone. I'm scared. Oh my god. Especially if you're an alpha who's also the deadliest inmate in the prison. Like, if you're gonna break into my house, at least leave some expensive cheese, Don't don't break into my house. I don't know why I said that. Don't break into my house. Don't come to my house. Do not. No. No. Mm-mm-mm. If only, given how many like breaking into houses was happening this video, I think I should have been sponsored by some kind of a VPN company. So I can be like, and if you don't want people breaking into your house, use this VPN. But I don't use a VPN, so because they're expensive. So if they could sponsor me, that would be very nice. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. I am a little nervous because too many people watched and liked my last video that I feel like I'm like nervous that they're gonna be like, actually, never mind, you're not that funny and I did not like this video. So I'm a little scared. Expectations are high and I was kind of expecting no expectations, so I'm a little scared. But thank you for watching. I love you. I love you. I'm gonna break into your house. I love you for watching, for sticking with me, for not only seeing the first video, but also coming back to see another one. Like, that's wow. Thanks. Please subscribe. Please. 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 And I love you. Thank you for watching.